Welcome everyone. As of this recording, it is Thursday, 13 April 2023. Wow, those clouds are looking pretty ominous. A good thing this video is partly inside, some of it's outdoors. As you can see by these airplanes in this tower over there, and we'll get to more of that later. Yeah, it looks like it might be raining over there already. Today's video is from the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm inviting you to join me. Won't you? Now, there's an aircraft flying overhead. Albuquerque Airport is not too far from here. Good thing these missiles are just props. They're pointed right at that airplane. Oh, that looks pretty cool with that airplane going up to the clouds. The museum is it's pretty big. You can see the Smithsonian flag hanging from the roof up there. There are a lot of exhibits in this museum. The admission price is to get into the museum. In my opinion, it's worth it. Now, many of you know Heisenberg is Walter White's alter ego in the TV show Breaking Bad, but he also played an important part in the nuclear race. And fans of the TV show Breaking Bad know that there was a scene filmed in this museum. This is a letter that Albert Einstein wrote to President Roosevelt. You can stop the video to read what it says. And this is President Roosevelt's reply to Albert Einstein. I love the words in this last paragraph that say, it permanently changed the human condition, when they're talking about the Trinity bomb that exploded in the New Mexico desert. I mean, do you think it changed the human condition? I would say it did. I wonder if Coca-Cola was part of their experiments. Probably not. Somebody just liked to drink Coke. Cool bottle, though. Now, this is a mock-up of a room where they conducted experiments to determine how much plutonium they could pack into a bomb without making the bomb unsafe to handle. The first scientists that worked in these rooms wore very little radioactive shielding. Now, they would later use robotic arms controlled from shielding rooms. But these first scientists, they were exposed to radioactive material. This is a newspaper clipping from Santa Fe, New Mexico, from August 6, 1945. There's this Bob Hope touring exhibit here until April 30th. There's some pretty cool stuff inside. Let's take a look. During the war, people along the coast of the United States had to black out their lights, and this game was developed as Bob Hope's blackout game. It sold for 25 cents in 1942. This is one of Bob Hope's suitcases that he took on USO tours. This is one of his USO ID cards. If you notice, he lived in North Hollywood, California, but if you look down at his place of birth, who knew Bob Hope was born in England? This propeller was presented to Bob Hope at Minter Field, which was a training site for the U.S. Army that had over 7,000 personnel stationed at it during World War II. And these are entertainment travel orders for Bob Hope to fly from England to North Africa to entertain the troops. And of course it was at government expense. The handwritten letter on the left is from a wounded sailor that Bob Hope visited, and the one on the right is Bob Hope's response almost 3 months later. This is Bob Hope's personal tour diary that he kept for his 1944 tour of bases and hospitals across the South Pacific. The 509th Composite Group was a unit that was tasked with operational deployment of nuclear weapons during World War II. This is a model of the plane that was piloted by Paul Tibbets. It dropped the Little Boy atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan on August 6, 1945. And this is a model of a plane that was piloted by Charles Sweeney. It dropped the Fat Man atomic bomb on Nagasaki, Japan on August 9th, 1945. This 48-star American flag flew over the Trinity base camp in 1945, and just 10 miles north of the Trinity base camp. Alright, this was hard for me to believe when I saw it, but a Plymouth sedan just like this transported a plutonium core from Los Alamos to the Trinity site in 1945 in the back seat. I can't believe that even back then they would transport that in the back seat of a car. Amazing. And this is a 1942 Packard Custom Limousine. And this was a type of vehicle that they used to transport scientists working on the Manhattan Project. And these field glasses were used to view the Trinity test on July 16, 1945. And this green stuff you see is called trinitite. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Intense heat from the first atomic explosion created a fireball that fused desert sand into this green glass-looking stuff. And this round device with all the wires hanging out was called a gadget. It was the first atomic device tested. It was called gadget because it was not yet a deployable weapon, and words like atomic and bomb were avoided, well, for security reasons. These two pictures show Nagasaki, Japan before and after the atomic bomb was dropped. This watch stopped at 8:17 a.m. on August 6, 1945, when the atomic bomb detonated over Hiroshima. This race car was used to promote nuclear clean air energy, but it ran on ethanol, not nuclear power. It was also part of Paul Newman's race team. What kid back in the day wouldn't have wanted one of these chemistry sets? And one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future, the DeLorean required 1.21 gigawatts to operate. The electricity was originally provided by a plutonium-fueled nuclear reactor installed in the DeLorean. We'll head outside in a minute to check out the exhibits out there, but let's check out this gift shop first. Now I have to try out this Route 66 root beer. Looks good. And old Einstein sitting in the driver's seat of this Jeep. Where are you going, Einstein? They sell the usual items in this gift shop: hats, t-shirts, and mugs, and a few other little knickknacks that you can get. Now, it looks like we avoided the rain, so let's check out the exhibits outside. This 100-foot tower was used to drop the Gadget, the first nuclear device, at Trinity test site in New Mexico. I'm not sure if this is the real tower. I don't think it is. I think this is just a mock-up. This aircraft is a TA-7C Corsair II. It was a U.S. Navy attack aircraft introduced in 1967 and was used extensively in the Vietnam War. Aviators and crews nicknamed this plane the Short Little Ugly Feller. Now, this is a MiG-21 supersonic jet, and as you can tell by the star on the tail, it was made in the former Soviet Union. Now, this is the F-105D Thunder Chief. It's a supersonic tactical fighter bomber and it was used extensively in Vietnam. This is a 280 millimeter atomic cannon. It was the largest nuclear-capable mobile artillery piece manufactured by the U.S., and it was actually tested in the Nevada test site and fired a projectile 7 miles. Now, this aircraft is a B-52 Super Fortress. It's the longest-serving strategic aircraft in the U.S. Air Force. And with the development of surface-to-air missiles, the B-52 successfully shifted from high to low-level weapon delivery. It was originally intended to deliver nuclear weapons. Now, this is a Hound Dog supersonic nuclear missile designed to destroy heavily defended ground targets. The B-52 bombers carried 2 Hound Dogs, one beneath each wing. And this was an intercontinental ballistic missile deemed the Peacekeeper. There were 50 of them. They've all been deactivated. And this was the Titan II intercontinental ballistic missile. These missiles were on the ready all the time during the Cold War and could be fired in less than 1 minute. And the Titan IIs were in service from 1963 to 1987. It looks like these pigeons are using this as their home in the engine of a Titan II ICBM. Hey pigeons. Look at this. This one's nesting in there. It even has a little pigeon egg there in front. And this was an intermediate range ballistic missile in service from 1960 to 1963. It was called the Jupiter. This was an intermediate range ballistic missile called Thor. It was decommissioned on or around 1963. And this is a Boeing Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Minuteman I. Boeing created Minuteman I, II, and IIIs, and as of today, only the IIIs are left in the U.S. Air Force, and they're due to be decommissioned in 2030. This is a B29 Super Fortress. This was a plane that was used to drop the nuclear bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, Japan. And this isn't the actual plane, but this is the type of plane that was used for both of those bombings. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you're ever in Albuquerque, make sure you stop by the Nuclear Science and History Museum. I'll leave a link below to their website. And make sure you subscribe and like my videos. It'll help my channel grow. I'm out.